I came up with a definition of being disillusioned as shattering of a rigidly lived, taken for granted, identity-oriented belief. Now that sounds like a mouthful, but that's significant. Identity-oriented belief. It's not just a belief about something out there. It shatters your self-understanding. So it's rigidly lived, taken for granted, but it's an identity-oriented belief. Now, what do you do with that after you're disillusioned? There were different modes of resolution. Some remained cynical, never changed at all. They were bitter. My wife left me, my spouse left me, I'm angry and bitter. They fired me from my job. God didn't deliver, whatever. So that's one mode, and that's the popular interpretation. If you're disillusioned, then you're angry and you give up and bitter. But there were other modes of resolutions of disillusionment, simply meaning that I thought the most positive, or the positive spin on this is, shattering as it is, if you have a somewhat of a spiritual, religious understanding of human experiences, that you take the shadowing experience, your spouse left you, God didn't deliver, and then you come and work through that and come to a new understanding of both yourself and the other, the religion, your boss, your spouse. That's key. So we have people that are disillusioned all over the country today because of the economy, because of religion, in the Catholic religion, for God's sake, all of the sex abuse that goes on. And you idealize the priesthood. But you can work through that to a deeper understanding of marriage, religion, or careers, and pick up a new career. Hard as hell, difficult. Find a new interpretation of your religion. Find, usually in the marriage things, what I found in these protocols was that the people idealized the other at such a level that when the other wasn't the ideal, then they were disillusioned. So you were living a taken for granted belief, idealizing the other. Now, that's consistent with the romantic dreams of people in the United States in particular. We have that romantic idealization of the other, so you marry the other. Then after living for 20 years, you find out that it's impossible to maintain that idealization. In some exceptional cases they do, but as a rule they don't. So now it suggests from the study that there can be a positive resolution to disillusionment if you work through it and come to a new understanding of yourself. Dream again, or develop another dream, or develop another belief system in yourself, in the church, or in other people, or your boss, but be based on a little more realistic. Does that make sense? Realistic, so that if you get married, you understand that the initial relationship is idealistic, affirming, but that's not the depth of love. Love is being able to affirm whenever the other person has disappointed you. Another person, you've hurt each other. As I said, I'm a clinical psychologist, and that's what I get in therapy. They were married, they lived happily for maybe 10 years, and two or three kids, whatever, and then they disappointed each other, and then they hurt each other, and now you're in the disillusioning aspect. Can you work through that? That's what my research and another book, Intimacy, Transcendence, and Psychology by Steen Halling, is one of the more recent books dealing with understanding disillusionment, and he referred to my original research on that and some others that have, but it's a good book applying intimacy, transcendence, see, you deepen your understanding of intimacy, understanding God. We idealize God. God's going to take care of me all the time. You get cancer, you have an accident, your wife leaves you, you lose your job. That challenges your God belief.